welcome to Clutch My Pearls, the podcast where I, Emily, learn all about the smut that my friends are reading. As always, I'm joined with Vanessa and Barbara.
Oh my God, the hands.
Hello, I am Barbara.
What's
weird.
up?
Today's weird.
It is.
We've been chatting for 15 minutes
We're
already.
all in our periods, even though I don't get one, but
I had to ask.
Sympathy.
Is anyone mad at me? No, we're good.
We just need to
I just need to check.
cleanse the room.
just needed to double check. Thank you.
All right, thanks,
No,
guys.
we're not mad at you.
Yet.
I'm not mad at anybody except for myself.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, there's always a baseline of hating myself, but
I mean, granted, yeah. That's always running on like autopilot in the background.
yeah.
Base level.
All right, Vanessa has a perverted story for us.
I've heard that there were some announcements that y'all wanted to
First
make.
of all, you're the one that brought it up. I'm
You
pretty
brought it up, and I'm
sure.
like, yeah, I saw that.
The ladies are fighting.
What was her name?
Blue Eyed Kayla Jade
Yeah.
on TikTok. She's a full service sex worker in Australia.
She
Hell yeah.
talked about being. She got a message from Bio Bros.
And
Right.
all of Book Talk was like, please do it. Like, just
Of
do
course,
it. It's not
they're-
that weird. Because she was like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. And they're
Yeah.
like, no, it's not.
Emily's out.
She's out.
Are there ever any books where, I mean, that's just straight up incest, though.
Well, not if you're not touching each other. You're
Yeah.
only touching a common middle ground.
I'll bring that book.
Are there any, like, brother, sister with a common middle ground?
Okay, that's
'Cause
at
that's still-
least 1.5 steps too far.
Yeah.
So it has to be the same. Could it be sisters and one guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have to be same sex.
I think so.
If we're going to go there, it would
Yeah.
have to be same sex, I think.
Could you imagine being naked in front of a male?
Stop it. Anyway, Blue Eyed Kayla Jade, stop. Just Blue Eyed Kayla Jade.
So everybody wanted to know if it was like, and she wanted to know if it was
Yeah.
going to be like together
Right.
or like separate, because she's
Like,
done that before.
He's on deck or...
Yeah. So I saw a video. It was, I think it might have been this morning, because she's in Australia, so it's difference of time. But she was like counting money. She just got back.
How much did she get paid?
She always counts money.
I
I don't know the conversion.
3,600.
Plus a deposit, plus additional time because
Yeah.
they extended the time.
I might have been looking at the wrong video too, because I watched some other of her videos. So,
I don't know what the exchange rate is. She makes a lot of money.
yeah.
Wow.
So apparently it was together, but she never said
Did
why.
they touch?
No.
She said all the way to Paris, saw the Eiffel Tower.
Yes. In Australia. Catch my drift.
Wow. I got it.
Are you picking it up? She gets it. She gets it. You're not clutching pearls? Okay, cool.
Apparently they got into a fight.
Yeah.
And one of them left.
They were
And
like arguing about something after like they had like
I want to put
finished.
my wiener in her.
Well, they did. And then they started fighting. She like went to the other room to like, I don't know,
Shower?
rinse something.
Rinse her
Yeah, shower.
mouth?
And then Vanessa, probably. And then she heard them like having like, she doesn't know what they were arguing about. She's like, maybe it was like some family argument or something. And then one of them left, which was a bummer because he was the one I was more attracted to.
Of course she was
He's the one that
more
stormed
attracted
out.
to the one that stormed out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other one extended the time.
Okay. He was like, I just want to be with you longer.
Mm-hmm.
And then did they do it again?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Anyway, there's so many women who are like, never in my life consider this as a career path or a hobby or anything. And I just like, can't stop watching these TikToks because she just like talks about it. She's so like,
Everybody's like, we went to the Eiffel Tower.
no, it was us.
We were
We
with
are
bros.
counting our money.
Yeah.
We are getting
We got paid.
Us is we, yeah.
We're together in this journey.
Wow.
But still, everybody in the comments was like, they wanted to know why.
why
If
did they want to
they've
do
done
that? Like
this
that's
before.
the book talk question of like,
Yeah.
why did they choose to be like,
Are they full bio brothers
Yes.
as well?
yes.
Stay tuned. We'll watch more videos.
Yeah. Did she say anything about like she was going to see them again, or did she ask any questions about him?
She
You'll
said
have to
she
follow to
was
find out.
going to message the one that stormed out.
Of course
she
she
did?
was.
Yeah, because
I can fix him.
Well, she was saying that he was the one that she liked the most.
Of course.
And he was the one that she was talking to originally to set up the date.
Ah.
So she was thinking about being like, hey, like, is everything okay?
Hey, what the hell is your problem?
Do you need a shoulder or
What
a
did your
titty to
dumb
cry
brother do?
on?
Did he find her through Instagram or through TikTok?
I don't know.
I have so many questions.
She's,
I don't know.
she's out and about.
I'll send you
she
her
leaves
links.
QR codes and books.
I love it. She's like me.
She has OnlyFans. I'll send you the link.
I don't have an OnlyFans account.
Vanessa's done her research.
You just sign up for one.
True.
Vanessa's done her research.
Do you
Wow.
subscribe to her OnlyFans?
No, I was just saying she has a bunch of links, and I'm sure there's like a way to like book her through there.
She has a bunch of links.
I'm
How
not
many did you
trying
look
to
at?
book her. I'm going to support her.
Vanessa's
I'm
like, here's how you book. She's really nice.
No, I'm saying like if you want to know the process.
She does have a lot of fun when couples want to hang out with her.
Vanessa hangs out with her.
She's in Australia. I'm here and I'm not interested.
You can fly her out.
Yeah. She'll
Sounds like you're pretty interested.
I'm not. I don't have the money.
Oh my God.
So true.
She's too high end for
I
us.
have to use the Clutch My Pearls credit card.
Oh my God. I don't think
And
we're
we're
high end
bankrupt.
enough for that either.
So that's the book.
Wow. I love it.
Yeah.
Blue Eyed Jade?
Blue Eyed Kayla
Kayla
Jade.
Jade.
Blue Eyed Kayla Jade by Kayla Jade. Wow. Bio Bros by Blue Eyed Kayla Jade. I love it. What a great book. So what do the good people at Goodreads think?
They think book talk. They got a lot of questions for.
A lot of people brought up that book Credence.
Oh.
Have you read
I
that
haven't
one?
read
Is
that.
that bio stuff?
You always
You
get
can't.
shy. You bring it up and then you like shake your head and you nod. And I'm like, for our listeners.
Yeah, for the people
She's sitting
not
there
watching.
looking nasty.
Have you read it?
No.
Not yet.
So she doesn't even know.
She could be lying.
I know what it's about.
Wow.
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 Is that what you're presenting today, Barbara?
Do you want to hear about my
I
book?
fucking wish.
I do.
All right. It's called Guarding Temptation
Ooh.
by Talia Hibbert.
Ooh.
It is, the page number is a huge question mark because it says on somewhere that it's 112 pages. Somewhere else said it was like 128. My Kindle said it was 98 pages.
Your Kindle? Your
My
new Kindle?
That you got for
Kindle.
your birthday?
Yeah.
Your dinosaur birthday party?
2 of my best friends got me a Kindle for
We
my
did.
birthday, and I nearly cried at the table, and I don't do that.
I was like, open your present.
Can you do
open
it
it
now?
now.
Do it
Nobody's
now.
looking.
She was like, I want to, is it okay if I put it under my chair?
You told me preemptively. You were like, if you need to put it down underneath the table, that's not rude. And I was like,
Because I saw you sitting there with
I was
this
gonna-
big ass
I
bow
literally-
on it, just
I-
at the table.
I was gonna hold it in my lap. I put my napkin over it. I was like, I'm just,
Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
put it on the ground.
Don't look at
I was
it.
like, it's okay.
It's a bomb.
So on your Kindle,
Yeah.
your new Kindle.
Although I will say, now that I have a Kindle and an iPad, I have decided that my Kindle is for me.
Yeah.
So at home, it's like I'm obsessed. I love it so much because no one can text me on it.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It is
yeah.
nice to me, it doesn't count as screen time.
It doesn't
Yeah.
look like my iPad, like I have like texting turned off, but
Yeah.
it still looks enough like
Like
my
a phone.
phone that
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I should be doing. But
Yeah.
the Kindle is for me, and so I still do all my books on my iPad.
Yeah.
Nice. I love it.
I love it.
That's true.
Yay!
Actually, I do the same thing. I read on my like Kindle, but I do everything on that little tablet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Look at us.
look at us. All right, 98 pages,
Baby book.
baby book.
A
Yeah,
baby book.
I chose that deliberately.
Deliberately.
I was so excited. I was like, that's the one. It came out in April of 2020.
Oh, we're sick.
Oof.
We're
Look,
real
baby.
sick.
Coughed it up.
Little coughed it right out. Yeah,
Well, maybe this was written before the pandemic.
She was like, you know
probably.
what? Let
It
me
had to
get
be
it in.
like edited and published, and it was like, you know what? Everyone's at home. This is great timing.
Great time.
Yeah,
So
it's
we're not,
Animal Crossing.
we're not sick.
Okay, synopsis. 2 former friends, one cramped apartment. Emily's already out.
Was it?
She's already mad.
Like, no.
2 former friends.
About I mean, like there was a fight.
Is this Love Light Farms?
There was an argument.
All right, 2 former friends, 1 cramped apartment, 3 little rules. Nina Chapman's most embarrassing moment, finally dragging James Foster into bed. The stern and steady mechanic made her see stars, then called it a mistake and disappeared, leaving the tatters of their friendship in his wake.
So they were friends, they fucked, and then he ghosted.
Aw. But
Almost
they live
exactly
together.
right. What?
But they live together?
No, we'll get.
They're gonna.
Okay, they're gonna.
Ooh.
But when Nina's work as an investigative journalist, busy
Ooh.
businesswoman,
Yeah.
brings death threats to her door,
Ah.
James marches back into her life armed with irrational demands.
Hell yeah.
He doesn't care how long it's been or how distant they've become. She must move into his flat. She must sleep in his bed, and she cannot
Flat.
leave his side, not for a second.
Is he British?
What could possibly go wrong?
Are we British?
You guys are much
British?
smarter than me.
Because of the flat?
I marked where I realized, oh, they're British. And it was farther than the synopsis, let's just say.
108. Yeah.
Out of 98, it was on the Goodreads reviews now. Yes, they're British.
Okay.
British.
I love a good
British.
British.
Do we want to guess what page the first coming is?
Do we see the first fucking?
We don't.
Or do they talk about
We
it?
see the aftermath.
Okay.
So we don't see the...
Yeah.
56.
29.
love where your heads are at and your hearts. You are both wrong.
96.
Oh God.
Page 40.
40
Oh.
in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Little
We Eiffel
sandwich.
Towered that again.
Oh
my
right?
God.
All right. I don't remember what to do now.
So what?
Tell us about the fucking book.
You want to hear about the book? Okay.
Yeah.
Explain the characters. Tell us about.
She's done a book before.
In my experience of doing a book, it really helped to read my notes.
Oh my God, mansplaining.
Thank you so much, Emily.
welcome.
Your guidance is stinking.
I'm not mad at you. I'm not.
I'm mad.
But she's mad at you.
I'm not.
This episode we're just gonna call Inner Feelings. Okay, what is it called? I'm real dumb today. Again, I'm on my period.
Tavern.
What's it? The page where they're like, for the girls who fall for the villains or whatever.
Triggers?
The dedication.
Oh, dedication page.
Okay, yep, it's a dedication page. Okay,
Something's called acknowledgements, right? I don't know.
very
No,
good.
that's like to my loving.
No, you're right. Very good. Yes,
Yeah.
there are acknowledgements at the end.
Oh.
It's like, thanks to my editor and my publisher
yeah.
and everybody in the art and blah, blah, blah. In the beginning, the dedication page, this one is for the pessimists.
Oh.
Oh.
I feel like we should start looking at those because sometimes there's some really weird ones.
Yeah. The fucked up thing about Kindle. fucking,
Is it drops you onto page one.
yeah.
Yes.
So I always have a hard time when somebody says something about something and the like the playlist or
Yeah.
whatever. Like it
The
doesn't
stuff
even
that comes before.
it skips
Yeah.
the cover.
So you got to
even.
get the hard copy. When you get the hard copy, the audio
Girl,
book,
we don't
that's
have the money for that.
too
In my experience,
expensive.
We don't
of
have the money
reading
for
a
that.
book, one time you just buy all 3 versions of it because then you're scared because you don't
Do you know
which
how
one's
much
better.
money I would spend?
Why don't you just go to the bookstore with me while I'm slipping in cards and then just flip through it? It's free.
I'll just go spend 4 hours at Barnes & Noble every
Just
week.
return them.
Yes, as I'm being really scared and like slipping
We've-
things in.
Highlighted the whole book, returned it. I didn't
like
read it. I didn't mean to buy this.
Someone marked this up.
This one's already been read. Okay, it's dual POV.
Ooh,
Nina Chapman, she's an investigative journalist.
Nina Chapman.
what is she investigating? A murder?
This is hitting me with Persephone. Remember when she was like, wasn't she like going to school?
Yeah, she was an investigative
Yeah.
journalist for
Yeah.
like.
School?
In A Touch of Darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done so many Persephones, but yeah. No, Nina Chapman, she is 23 and she's an investigative journalist. She majored in journalism and she owns and runs her own blog called Reality Check UK.
Is that when you realize that
No,
it was
because that comes later. That comes later. Hang on.
I kicked my mic with that.
You assholes. Let's take a break. Let's pause the episode so I can go cry.
So I can go. I knew you were mad at me.
Were there any like weird words?
Yes, we'll get there. Okay, so she's an investigative journalist. She's a busy businesswoman. Reality Check UK. They're
She wearing a
British.
Sherlock Holmes hat.
Yes, and a monocle.
Ooh.
It's political news, current events, human rights, and she explains all these things. You find out on page 71, or maybe I just missed it earlier. On page 71, her full name is Antonina.
For what?
Her full first name is not Nina. That's a nickname. Her full
Antonina?
Antonina.
Oh.
Okay.
If you're named Antonina, let me know because I've never heard that name before.
Let us know.
Antonina.
Antonina.
Whoa. That's my British.
Oh, Antonina.
Okay. James Foster is a mechanic. He is her older brother's best friend, and he is her dream guy.
Oh.
She's like in love with him.
Since day one.
She's 23, he's 30. So not since day one,
Okay.
but
Since he's been friends with her brother, though?
no.
That was day one.
Day one's
We're just taking turns being
depends
so
on when you
mean to
determine
each
that
other.
life begins.
Oh, we're in Texas. We can't be doing
I'm gonna get fined
For talking about it.
about
They
it.
break in while we're doing this.
And
Okay.
it's like wheels in, like, what are you doing in here?
We heard there are 3 loose women in here.
2 of you on your period. I knew it. I could smell it. What about this book? I'm glad it was only 100 pages because we're not getting there.
I hope there's enough for us to go. Okay.
We're good. We got you.
James Foster is a mechanic. He's 30. I don't know how long he's been in her life, but when she was 19, her brother went to the Royal Air Force.
Oh, they with Prince Harry.
He's wandering around in helicopters with Prince Harry.
Hell yeah.
Whoa, you like that? And then
There's me castle.
I almost went oy vey, and that's not. I don't know.
No.
I'm done today. Okay,
That's
so
okay.
as
That's
opposed to all other days. All right, he's a mechanic. He's in the Royal Air Force, and then he's like, "Hey, look after her." So he does, and then he's really looking after her. Like, wow, I'm in love with her too. This whole book is basically miscommunication of like we're both in love with each other, but what if we just didn't say that?
Cool.
Missed connections.
Cool.
Cool. Vanessa loves it.
Okay, so he is black. He is described as having at least 100 pounds on her. He's got gentle eyes, full lips, shaved head, tattoos, and he is built like a tank. He's huge, muscles,
Beefy.
and then like meat, like just big guy.
I just picture every guy from every reality dating show.
Sure.
That's just like,
I was picturing Steve Urkel.
he, Jamal, what's his name now? Jamal, what, not now. His
Now?
IRL name.
Antonina.
Jamal
Urkel.
He is buff, but no.
He is.
I know.
I
Bob.
always think of Shamar Moore from like General Hospital or something.
I know.
That's so fucking 90s.
So that was my first thought, and I thought no one will know. No one.
But I love that you're both
But he was
there.
on the cover of like every soap
Everything.
opera weekly. And
He was the finest man ever.
that man's fine.
Him and Morris Chestnut.
I was picturing Idris Elba.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's
I know we've already used him.
He's British.
But he's
Ah!
British. He's British. And like he's
Yes.
like 6'2". Like I could just picture him like real like bulked out and just like, yeah, he can get
Ooh,
it done.
I could see him being a mechanic.
I could see him doing a lot of things.
Little like white tank top and like his rolled down, what is that? The onesie they wear?
Do you need a moment alone?
With a towel?
Like the little, what are they called?
Jumpsuit?
Jumpsuit. It's all greasy.
Little dickies.
Settle down, girls. Okay.
Just trying to get pumped for your butt.
She's
pump gas.
described when he sees her in chapter 1. We have a prologue. We'll get there, but you're asking me what they look like. Her clothes are oversized and like fraying, and it's all black, and she's got boots on and chip black nails, and her hair is like up in a knot on top of her head. Like she seems very like not goth, but she did have a goth phase when she was a teen.
Is she black too?
Yes.
She's either what? Am I having a stroke?
Caesar salad?
Make sure my tongue is straight. I'm not having a stroke. My client taught me that once. And if you think you're having a stroke, stick your tongue out. And it'll usually go to the side if you're having a stroke.
Oh my God.
Anyways,
Or
I'm
if you
gonna
smell
do that
toast.
all the
Anytime you
time.
smell toast. If you're eating toast, you're having a stroke for sure.
Zoe Kravitz.
Zoe or her mother, Lisa Bonet.
I was picturing
yeah.
Lisa Bonet. I was picturing her for a little while.
Yes.
All the love and light in the world to Zoe Kravitz, but I don't love her acting. So when I picture her, I'm like,
She's just really pretty.
she is.
Yeah. And I could definitely see her like baggy clothes.
For sure.
Yeah.
I was also picturing Kerry Washington. Something about scandal and politics.
Yeah.
But like if Kerry Washington were just like,
Well, she's an investigative journalist.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's like really like mouthy. She's real sassy. She's
Yeah.
real like, she's,
okay.
I've forgotten all the
Quick.
words.
Like, quick talking.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
very
She's a tough
Olivia
girl.
Pope.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Glass of wine.
Sure.
Olivia Pope drank a glass of wine every night.
All the
I
time.
never watched the show.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh my
I
God.
should? I
Talk
should
about
watch it?
horned
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have seen a lot of stuff on TikTok and like, various other things on the internet.
He is hot too.
He is fine.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Just the first few seasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the prologue, he went down on her and she came, and then he is sitting there like, we shouldn't have done it. And then she is like, she's a tough girl. She's not going to be vulnerable. And she's in love with this man. And she's like, we're there. We did it. And then he's like, we shouldn't have done this. This was a mistake. And then he says, I'm not explaining this well. And she goes a little too far. And she's like, don't talk to me ever. Like, ever.
Same.
Yeah.
So clearly you don't want to be with me. So I'm just never going to speak to you ever again. Like, she's
So I'm
23.
going to jump 4 steps ahead to protect myself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Feel ya.
Before you do that.
That was 6 weeks ago.
Oof. 6 weeks.
And
Yes.
no talking.
No talking.
No seeing each other.
No seeing each other. Although it did mention that he's been driving past her house every night to make sure that she's okay.
Oh,
He's
he
down
loves her.
bad. That only works if you are also in love with him.
Yeah. True.
Anyway.
Wait, what?
Someone driving by your house every
Oh,
night. It
yeah.
only works if it's like someone
Yeah.
that you actually want to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so chapter 1 is he's working on a car. And his technician is like, hey, Shadow's here, because they call her his shadow. I don't know. And he thinks it's a prank because he's like, yeah, the guys are like making fun of me because they know how I've been like missing her a lot. So he just like doesn't believe it. And then he hears her say, you busy or what? And he jumps up and smacks his head on the bonnet of the car. And I'm like, aha.
Imagine
bonnet.
that.
Aha, UK.
Oh, that's where it
So
was.
Chapter
Royal
one.
Navy reality
Some of
check
this came after.
UK.
So let's talk about my notes. Page 1 is more of like a cover sheet.
Okay.
And then we go into the like chapter 1, chapter 2.
The
So
bonnet.
we didn't know all that yet.
Okay.
I'm not that stupid.
I think
I'm only
I think I
sort
would
of
have
stupid.
gone past bonnet.
You guys got it in the synopsis. So again, like you're already there. Okay, so they chat. She's like, okay, so I've been getting death threats. And he's not thrilled about that.
No,
Why is she telling him?
because he's a big tough guy who loves her. He's going to take care of her.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just like, don't ever talk to me again. And it's been 6 weeks.
They love each
But
other.
then she's like,
I
her
don't have
parents are
anybody
retired
else.
dentists who
Okay.
live somewhere else. And like,
Her brother's in the
she did-
Navy.
yeah. And
Okay.
like, they used to talk constantly, text every day. Like, she still knows that he will help. She thinks the problem is just that he's not also in love with her, which is incorrect. So she's like, yeah, I'll call.
Okay.
He also used to be a competitive kickboxer
Hell yeah.
because his,
We were talking about Billy Banks
Oh yeah. Tybo.
oh my God.
at Halloween.
I used to go to the Boys and Girls Club after school, and one of the guys would make all of us do that so that we would be like occupied and quiet
Exercise.
down. And it was just like,
Good strategy,
Edwin,
yeah.
no one wants to do this. Like, anyway, he's really huge, and his dad signed him up for kickboxing lessons when he was like a teenager because he told him men our size need to understand and respect their own strength.
Love it.
So yeah, anyway, okay. Death threats. It was because she wrote an article about how the Brexit Leave campaign broke electoral laws. I can't even read. I should just give you my notes.
That's okay.
No, I'm here for
We're
it.
following along just
So
fine.
all the right-wing websites and like the Sun, they're all like, oh my God, this rude woman who has a brain of her own, that's real inappropriate. We don't like that. So now she's getting weird tweets and like referencing that like, oh yeah, now we know who you are, because she posts everything on the website like anonymously.
Oh.
But now she thinks that someone has doxed her. And then she went to James. It's been a few weeks now. She goes to him this day because the night before she thought she heard someone trying to break in.
Ooh.
And so he was like, did you call the police? And she's like, yeah, okay. I want to be home alone with a stalker or home alone with the police. That's an exciting game of chance.
Oh,
We don't
shit.
trust the police.
No, please.
No police. So then he's like, stay with me. And she's like, no. And he's like, how would you feel if I wasn't safe in my home? And she's like, no. And he's like, who's going to keep you safer than me? And she's like, that's an excellent point. Fine. Which is the whole reason you went to go talk to him.
Yeah.
So
What did
yeah.
you want to happen?
What do you know?
Yeah.
She's going to go stay with him. So page 20, we're at his apartment.
Oh, is it nice?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, I feel like he'd be really tidy.
Yeah.
I'm excited to have her come
He's
over.
very neat. He's very like, yeah, he was excited to have her come over. You're right. You've totally got him pegged.
He seems like a sweet boy.
Oh, gross.
Emily's pegging him. Okay.
If that's what he wanted.
Someone
She would do anything for her man.
someone doxes her.
Oh, found it where new house?
Her address, not new house. They post her
House.
address. It's not actually her address.
It's just like the area.
They think like I'm not sure
Like she
exactly.
lives on this street.
We only have 98 pages, so I don't really understand because it looks like someone shared her address, but then they find out like when they go to the cops later. I'm jumping ahead. They're like, oh, like it wasn't actually your address, so basically like we can't really help you.
Okay.
Anyway,
I mean, I can find anything if you give me a picture.
I believe like
Yeah.
just don't worry about the investigative police force.
Yeah.
Go to a woman who
Yeah.
is. We're all investigative journalists.
Yeah.
Okay, so and she's like, the police won't do anything, not until it's too late. And then they're like, he's like, shuts the laptop down. He's like, don't think about that. We need to talk.
Ooh.
He wants to fix this.
He's like, I've got a
What's
big old
this?
hog. I got it.
This?
The distance, girl. For our listener, she's pointing at her crotch.
Or his
Or
or,
his
theirs or
Are they sharing a bed?
No, he's sleeping on the couch, which is funny because
He's
you know
so
that
big.
couch is not big enough. to
He's
fit
too
him.
big.
He's
Yeah,
too
and
big?
she's in his king size bed.
She's too small for it.
Okay, so he's like, we need to talk. Please let me try to fix this. I can't lose you. He's trying to like mend the friendship. And
as a friend.
as a friend. And she's like, we don't need to talk about anything. I'm not going to be vulnerable, all that. And then he's explaining that when he was touching her, he couldn't think. And then like afterwards, it all kind of came flooding back. And he just felt so guilty. I was thoughtless. I shouldn't have treated you like that. And I'm sorry.
Oh.
So she internally is like,
Shouldn't have made me come. You son of a bitch.
yeah. Basically, that's her thing. She's like, what the fuck? Like, you feel guilty about what? And then he is saying basically that like he doesn't want to be like the other little boys that she takes to bed because she sleeps around because why the fuck not? And he says, I don't want you to think of me as a quick fuck. We're friends. We matter.
Oh my God.
This is a great moment for the two of them to talk about
like
how they matter, or like, you know, any like one step farther they would have gotten there. But her, like in her head, she's like, he doesn't realize what he means to me. He thinks that it was just like a hookup. So that would be a great moment to point out that that's not what that is, but she doesn't.
It's got to be, you have to be vulnerable to do that, and that's scary.
I know, that is scary.
What sign do you think
she doesn't want to do that. What
sign do you think they are?
Something that's tough, and he's an earth sign, I feel like, because he's gentle and he's steady, and he's like...
She's a Taurus.
What do you think she is?
I don't know.
That's okay.
She's defensive.
She's defensive.
She doesn't like showing her feelings. So she could be a Scorpio because she has a lot of feelings, but she doesn't want to show them. And as soon as she felt the slightest hint of rejection, she went, okay, full throttle, fuck you. Like,
Ooh,
that
yeah.
could definitely be Scorpio.
Okay.
Yeah, so she doesn't want to be vulnerable. Excellent. You totally get her too. And she says, you're right. We shouldn't have crossed the line. And he goes, exactly. But we won't do it again. And I'm like, you both are dumb.
But you should. Do it one more time.
But you should.
Just a check.
You should. So then they're talking and they're watching a movie and she opens up and she's like vulnerable, but in a different way. And she's like, what if someone hurts me? And he's like, no one's going to hurt you. I'll kill them.
Hell yeah. What movie were they watching?
I do not remember. Oh, some Marvel movie.
Oh.
Okay. So, no one is hurting you. I'd kill them. Well, because you love my brother. And he goes, no, Nina, you're one of the most important people in my life.
How many times do you have to tell her that?
Excellent time for them to talk about this, but they don't. They have a tickle fest, and I wrote eye roll.
Tickle fest. Tickle fest.
That's what you do when you want to fuck.
I know.
Tickle
and
fest.
They don't. Tickle,
You know when
tickle.
someone like tickles and you like wrestle?
Oh no.
Yeah,
I'm
but-
fully aware of what a tickle fest.
Yeah, but it's eye roll. Eye roll. And I wrote, I'm not out, but I'm like maybe rolling down the window. Like maybe I'm ready to jump out of the
I'm
moving
looking
vehicle.
for the exits. Like
Yeah, like
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep it in mind.
Ugh.
Yeah, also don't tickle me.
No.
What,
Do the like the one that you both know, like you're about to have sex, like that's different.
yeah,
but
it's
don't
not
tickle
really
me.
tickling.
Okay. In an unrelated note, sometimes
Ooh.
Eric will tell me I would never tickle you, and then my whole body feels like I'm being tickled, and I'm like, get away from me.
He just has to just
Say it.
Talk
and he
about
just goes, I would never do that, and I'm like,
not going to do it.
you better stay away from me.
I would never.
He's like, I would never put these fingies on you in a tickling manner.
Get those thingies out of here. So then I usually go like, we need to
Are
hold
you-
hands.
Are you ticklish?
No.
She is. Are you ticklish?
I don't think so.
She is.
Sounds like everybody is until proven otherwise.
Yeah. Everyone were just like, nobody. Don't tickle.
Don't do it. Okay, so they have a mini cuddle session, and then he gets hard, and he kind of goes like, uh-oh, and he goes out, and he's like, I need some water. And she's like, what? There's water here. Oh my God, he got hard. And then they go to
Oh,
bed.
so she saw it. So they're cuddling.
Gosh, is she stupid?
No. She's 23.
It's true.
It's true. And then chapter 4, he wakes up, sex dream.
Uh-oh.
It's his POV.
Did he jizz his pants?
This is where we're reading.
Oh, shit. So it's not even a real sex scene? It's just,
Ma'am.
it's a dream?
I try to make sure that you get a variety.
I love it.
The whole premise of the show is that Emily doesn't read the stuff, so we need to expose her
I love
to
it.
things, and also no, everybody's awake. It's not a dream.
Oh.
But I almost highlighted the dream.
Wait, so he had a sex dream.
He had a sex dream, and he woke up, and he's super hard. And he's like, oh, I
Wait, so
can't
this
resist.
is not the dream?
He's awake.
Okay.
He is awake, and he's like, wow, I am extremely erect and on the couch, and it's the middle of the night, and I'm just gonna, I don't have the willpower to not take
Go
care of
and-
myself.
Ooh, oh.
Oh, and she walks in on it.
Who knows?
Let's
Guess we'll find out.
I'm having a
Is
stroke.
this from her POV?
Vanessa just said having a stroke, and she stuck her tongue out. It's from his POV. So
Ignoring
everything,
his better instincts?
yes,
Oh.
he's hard.
But it's third person?
It's third person. It's his.
It's
not his thoughts.
It's in his. It's his thoughts, but it's not. Yeah,
Just read.
it's his point of view. The whole thing is from his point of view, but it's not
Oh.
His-
first person.
Okay.
Gotcha.
thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
It's his storyline.
Yes.
Yes.
Ignoring his better instincts, he shoved down his briefs and fisted his own length. So fucking good.
Oh, I like that.
His hand was bigger, harder, rougher than Nina's, but he closed his fucking eyes and imagined her tight grip, stroking him, teasing him, milking the cum from his heavy, desperate balls.
Desperate
They're
balls.
desperate. And then he heard her. For real.
For realsies.
A soft little gasp. One that, one that had been seared into his memory weeks ago, along with the taste of her pussy. One he'd recognize anywhere. He's like, I taste it.
Like a dog.
His eyes snapped open, and there she stood in the moonlit shadows of the room. Nina. She wore a white top that displayed her stiff nipples like rock-hard diamonds. Pink ones. Pink diamonds.
That's from Celestial Glorbosis, episode 46, I think, featuring Jeff Ramsey and Gavin Free. And they talk about
Nipples like
nipples.
diamonds.
British.
And British.
Is it a British thing? I wonder if... And tight, lacy... Ooh, tight, lacy knickers that clung to the plump curve of her mound.
It's called a moose knuckle. That's what Glorilla calls
You get a little ooh, and she kills it. It's called a moose knuckle. Okay, thank you.
Something must have possessed him because all he could do was hold her midnight gaze and keep jerking himself. So she just walked in the room and he's just jerking it.
She catches him.
And he just keeps going.
You saw how much I didn't highlight. And like the internal monologue of him going like, oh shit, like, and, you know, it's the witching hour. Who knows?
She's not leaving.
Yeah.
Is this even real? Like,
she
does
likes
this
what
count?
she sees. Is she a vision? And Nina didn't move, didn't look away, didn't make a sound. Just watched him looking as hungry, as starving for this as James felt. And then one of Nina's delicate little hands crept down over her hips and slipped beneath the waistband of her underwear.
Naughty.
Mutual masturbation.
Yes.
James
Which doesn't count.
James swore he almost passed the fuck out.
You should check his blood pressure.
Oh,
Well, not right now.
He needs an Apple Watch.
He needs an Apple Watch. He could see the outline of her fingers through.
Sponsored by Apple. It's not.
Please, but we're open. He could see the outline of her fingers through thin white fabric as she parted her own pussy lips. Fuck. If Nina needed this, who was he to take it away? So giving.
The giver.
He managed to force out a few words, his voice rasping between them in the dark. You stay over there. I'll stay over here. When you're done, Nina, go to sleep.
Peaky Blinders.
What? Nina, go to sleep?
When we're done, Nina, go to sleep.
Oh, okay.
He's basically saying like, this doesn't count.
Sounded so caveman.
If
Nina,
we don't
sleep.
Sleep.
All right, James, she murmured, a slight ironic smile curving her lips. It was just a dream. She leaned back again. They're both dreaming about each other.
This is so annoying.
She leaned back against.
Wait. Why are we annoyed?
Because he's like, this is just for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And then after this, you'll go to sleep and we won't talk about this anymore.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, all right, yeah, it's just a dream.
Just come over here then.
Yeah, just talk to each other.
They're very.
I'm just saying, like, if we're going to pretend like it's a dream and it's just tonight, just come over to the couch then.
If we're going to cross the line, let's cross the line.
Oh,
yeah, let's just full
throttle. Because all they did before was him eat her out. They've never fucked.
Correct.
Ooh.
Here's your chance.
She leaned back against the wall and eased off her underwear, shimmying it down to the floor and kicking it away. She raised one knee, pressing her foot flat to the wall behind her.
Donald Duckin?
But just like leaning against it like fucking
a
James
jock?
Dean.
Yeah.
Like, hey.
Hey. Like sharks and what is it?
He choked out a moan and stroked his cock faster and harder, determined to make himself mindless. Nina arched her back, pushing her hips forward as she trailed delicate fingers around her swollen nub. Ugh.
Moose knuckle.
The nub of her knuckle. He imagined his tongue doing that for her. Imagined her getting wetter against his beard. Then he all but throttled his own dick. She brought down her other hand and, without preamble, pushed 3 fingers into her pussy. Fuck. The word was low and tight, rushing from James' throat without permission. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Are you that wet, baby? Do you need it that bad?
As usual, we're so sorry to all of our British.
Yeah. I
listeners.
saw Austin Powers recently, so that's all I got.
Oh my
perfect.
God. Why were you watching that recently?
It was on an airplane.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, all
That's
allowed.
allowed.
Like you were asking for
Court is in
permission.
session. Yeah.
Adjourned.
Well, otherwise I'd judge you.
Yeah, she moaned, spreading her legs wider, fucking herself deeper, rubbing her clit with almost frantic intensity. Yeah, I need it. God, James.
She's frantic.
Frantic. At the sound of his name on her lips, his cock jumped and he felt a hot spurt of cum against his belly. So he's laying down this whole time.
Yeah.
She's leaned up against the wall, snapping her fingers.
I'm also wondering,
Yeah.
like, the jets. That's what sharks and the jets.
When you're a
I was wondering how she spreads her legs wider with one foot on the
She's
wall.
flexible.
She's 23,
behind
so her
her.
hips don't hurt yet. So you just have one propped up, and then you just like
I'm going to try that when I get
You just-
home.
extend the angle. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Angle your
Yeah.
phone down.
The camera can't see it, but basically
we
just did a
do.
Pilates class.
Yeah, she's like, open up her hip flexors.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
You look so fucking gorgeous, Nina whispered into the silence. I'm going to come so fast. James groaned and gave up fighting his own release. He embarrassed himself with his own orgasm. It was so long and so hard.
So
He came all over himself, and it was so freaking satisfying. He could barely regret it. He opened his eyes in time to see Nina coming too, and he certainly didn't regret that. Her moans were short, sharp, little things that rose to a crescendo, her body shuddering, her fingers still working that greedy little pussy. Ugh. Ugh. James, she whispered, just for him, and the sound of it was a drug. He'd never stood a fucking chance. They came together, but
The
they
end.
didn't touch.
the
Doesn't
end.
count.
End of chapter. End of scene. She goes to bed.
Wow.
Page 42, that's halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
So is that the first coming?
The whole plot of this book is how do we find a way to tell one another that we are both in love?
Well, I think masturbating to each other in the same room.
I don't do that with my friends.
Yeah.
Never done that
No.
with either of you. No, thank you.
No, we before this, we're
What?
talking about all of our friends that we've seen. Their parents.
Before this, you were telling me stories about like, oh, I've seen this person naked, I've seen their vagina, I've seen but like at work too.
Girls'
Not
night.
like at work, but like the people at what
Yeah, but then it's like, but there has never been anything where it was sexual in any way.
No. Girls
Wow.
just have like no boundaries with each other.
No.
Meanwhile, men don't talk to each other about things.
They jerk each other off all the time.
Yeah, but they don't gossip.
But no
they don't
talking.
get intel. It doesn't count.
No intel.
Doesn't count if you don't make eye contact.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what else happened? So do they finally tell each other? Do they finally fuck? Do they ever get in search? Does anybody come to find her?
Does anybody, try to kill her?
Okay, so chapter 5, they go to the cops and they're like, she's getting death threats. And they're like, that sounds like a real bummer. And they keep bringing up her record because she's been arrested at like peaceful protests. She's very like,
Peaceful protest. Jesus fucking Christ, kill me.
Vanessa's like, you don't need to be peaceful. That's not going to work. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, that's just not something to hold against somebody
You're
as
right.
far as like not true. Yeah.
You're very right.
You're not,
very
you know
right.
what? But they're not in America.
It's like the least
Where we-
offense.
We have our freedoms for now.
Okay, considering we're talking about cops not taking you seriously because of the...
I'm fully aware.
I'm a criminal, so I
You're-
definitely don't get taken seriously by
God.
cops.
Oh
But
my
it's
God,
not for
she's
fucking
such a bad girl.
peaceful protests. I
Oh
wish.
my God.
All right, so yeah.
Don't be like me.
James is mad. Don't blame me, Taylor Swift. James is mad. He's mad.
About
upset.
wow, the way
Because
they're
of
treating
cops.
her.
You're not taking it seriously. And
Yeah.
the cop's like, have you tried blocking the people who are sending you the death threats? And he's like, are you, like, he's about to blow a gasket because he's a mechanic.
Blow a spark plug.
I don't know if you got that pun there.
And he's doing, he's like asking good questions. Like, what the fuck does he doesn't swear, but like, what does her record have to do with whatever? And she's
James.
realizing, okay, he's mad. And she's like, okay, thank you. Like, we're going to go.
Yeah.
And so
Shouldn't
they
have came
leave.
here anyways.
They're standing outside of the station and he's like, he didn't even care. And then he doesn't realize that he's shouting, which is so out of character for him because he's calm, cool, collected, dependable,
He
steady.
keeps calm and carries on.
Yes.
Just tapping in.
I want to see that in the aesthetic video. Okay.
The bumper sticker.
Yeah. He doesn't realize he's shouting. And she is like, do we really need to have a conversation about why you should not be losing your temper in a police station? And then she's saying, do you see yourself better? Do you know how they see you? They see you as a threat. And so then I started thinking about, remember our Sorkin summer that lasted for a little bit?
Yeah.
There's a scene in Newsroom when Terry Crews is a bodyguard for Jeff Daniels. And then he's chasing after him and the cops are like, whoa, and they apprehend Terry Crews because he's like, why are you running? That's illegal. And then he's telling them like, okay, I'm an undercover, like I protect this guy, I'm armed. And they're like, oh, don't do anything to make us nervous. And he's like, nothing I can do about being big and black. So then I was picturing Terry Crews for this kind
Yeah,
of.
I can picture him too. Yeah.
And then she's like, okay, he's upset and this was stressful. You know what we need? And then she takes him to Bounce Nation, an amusement center that has trampoline floors and bouncy castles.
Oh, that's gross kid shit.
Well, they have an adults only section.
Oh, cool. So where we can all just like break our wrists and our knees and everything. And
Throw out a hip or something.
I'm good.
I had spinal surgery. My back, my hardware could not handle
Could
that.
never. Yeah. She's
Her
like,
pH
no,
could
My
never.
pH could never, even if you're just kid adjacent, could never.
Kid adjacent, do not. Did I mention that he calls her Cupcake? Yeah, there's a lot of eye rolls in this one where I was expecting there to be some pushback about.
If he like fucked her really good, then I'd be like, what's up? But they're still like kind of, I mean, eventually I get it, but like you gotta get through half the book first.
I'm doing the Vanessa thing where I'm not making any noises, but I'm saying a lot with my. Okay, okay. So they have a sexual tension moment, not at the bouncy castle, whatever the fuck. Next chapter. They have a sexual tension moment, and then he's like, I have to resist. And he's like, remind me what you used to tell Marcus, her brother, and me about men. And she's like, oh, yeah, I used to tell you mine for a good time, not for a long time. Because the whole thing is that he thinks that it was just a casual hookup because that's all she does. She's never wanted intimacy, connection, romance, commitment.
But he's never talked to her about that.
She sure hasn't.
Yeah.
Maybe if they had a conversation, but that's too much. So she starts to realize and explain like, but it would be irrelevant if it were someone that I were actually, and they're outside somewhere. I don't really remember where they are. And then
Doesn't
three
matter. Flip the
attackers.
page.
Doesn't matter. Three men who are like violent. They recognize her. That's that blog bitch, they probably say, because they're not very good people. And he goes into like kickboxing protective mode. Oh shit.
Billy
he's
Banks.
like, all right, let's do this.
Finally get to use my fucking
Put the
kickboxing.
tape around his. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
He suddenly has like those like baggy pants on, like with the waistband.
He's got the. He's about to go up. Okay. He shoves Nina behind him and says, "Do not move." He tells him to turn around and piss off, which I thought was very British.
Very British.
Very British.
Piss off.
And they're like, "It's a free country, yeah. So we can go ahead and talk to her." Like, yeah, they're very British. It's all very British. And then he says, "Turn the fuck around." I really appreciated that the author wrote turn, period, the fuck, period, around, period. Because sometimes I do turn the period fuck around. And it just sounds stupid in my head.
Turn the fuck around.
Turn the fuck. It just doesn't turn
There's no
the fuck
period after
around.
The fuck is one word.
Yeah.
The fuck.
Yeah. So they leave. They turn around.
Oh, they're like, oh, okay.
All right.
The big old pusses.
They leave, and then James hugs her, and they both are kind of having this moment where they're like, oh shit, it's like a real threat. Like, it's not just like tweets. It's like people know who I am, and they're like mad at me, and it's like, oh wow, that's a lot. And he's thinking to himself, this is why I can't complicate things with her, because if things get broken, then she will leave and no one will protect her.
Oh.
So, all right, there's that. So then, chapter 7, they're back at his apartment. He's sleeping on the couch. She's sleeping over there. Oop, they're both awake again.
Uh-oh, time to masturbate.
It's like those horror movies when everybody wakes up at 3 a.m.
Oh, yeah, the cortisol levels.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got to eat some snacks before you go to bed. Mm-hmm. Okay, so she looks nervous, and he goes, come here. And then she goes and stands between his legs, and then she sucks him off and fingers herself, and they both come, and then they cuddle, and then he says, you better go back to bed.
So no penetration still.
So he still has to sleep on the cramped sofa.
He penetrated her mouth.
Yeah, but no wiener
No
in the
vaginal.
wiener.
A P in the V.
Yeah.
Only one of the holes.
Yeah. She put her fee in the V. Fingies in the V.
I don't feel good about what I just said. Hi, Diane.
Hi,
Okay,
Diane.
so next chapter, they're at a friend's house. They're a couple. It's Jazz. She's a lawyer. Doesn't matter. Well, it kind of matters. That's why she's there to ask for advice about what can I do about these people who are trying to like murder me online and or in person. Her inner monologue in this, and I wrote LOL because she just couldn't figure James out. And maybe that problem could be resolved with something as basic as, talking. But for once in her life, she couldn't make her runaway mouth work. It was cowardice. Yes. Girl, yes.
Yes.
Yes, author.
Yes.
Yes, character. Yes.
Ugh.
But she's 23.
Oh, that's true. She's 23. We got to get older women.
Kids. Okay, so
We need older chicks.
Yeah.
they're eating dinner and she blurts out, did you know that Jazz and Rahul were friends for 7 years before they got together? Did you know that? And then they're all like,
Okay.
oh, let's think about that.
Oh, like you can be
see?
friends with the person that
Did you
end up-
know
Did
that
you?
that's possible?
Okay.
Pointed eye contact with James. Did you know?
Did you know that
Did
you
you
can
know?
be friends with someone and then end up dating them and then end up marrying them and being like together forever? That's so
you know?
crazy.
James?
That's her trying to
Thoughts?
have the talk.
Wow.
Yeah. So then she's staring at James during dinner and like totally zoning out. And she has this epiphany. She's like, oh my God, she's in love with him. And she loves him enough to risk it all, to be vulnerable and tell him, I want to be with you after we bang. And then bang some more, and then just keep being together, right? And so then 2 days go by. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
And then James cannot stop thinking about that comment about how they've been friends for 7 years. So it's working.
Oh.
And then
Put a little moth in his ear.
Yeah, the moth is like, "Bzz, you can be friends first.
Oh, that was bonus.
Oh, that was our bonus episode. You know what? It's too long to explain. It was probably inappropriate in the first place. So go watch our bonus episode, Bloom, if you really want to know what the fuck that was about.
You want to know how the moths control us now?
Like Men in Black.
Yeah.
She gets a phone call. Skipping ahead, it doesn't matter. She's going to be on Good Morning Ladies with the Heidi Carpenter.
Oh.
Good Morning America, maybe?
Okay, like Barbara
I think it's a
Walters.
mix
Like
of like The View
Yeah.
and like
because
Good
I
Morning
was
America?
picturing, who's it? Hoda
Coffee.
Kotb? Yeah, but then I was picturing the SNL skits with Kristen Wiig when it's Cat or it's Kathy Lee. So I was just picturing that. I'm like, oh hell yeah. She's going to share her story on the TV and say,
I was like, what story? I forgot.
You know,
What, that she's in love with her friend?
this
she won't
guy
tell him.
really knows how to use his mouth. But what if they want to hang out? Okay. So
What if you want to hang out with the person you sleep with?
what do I do? I'm
And
23.
we live together.
Oh my God.
It'll give her public support and short-term hypervisibility, which will give relative safety because who need cops when you have paparazzi?
Okay.
Like cause more attention to maybe steer people away.
More people are going to be paying
Aware
attention.
that that's
and then-
happening, yeah.
And then,
No one hears a tree fall in the forest.
wow.
Bear
You
shit in
should
the
write that
woods.
down.
Mhm.
Maybe stitch it on a pillow.
Ooh.
I don't know how to stitch.
He's like, wow, this is great. Fantastic plan. We should celebrate tonight. So he orders her favorite Thai takeaway. And I did not write takeout. I wrote takeaway.
Because it's British.
British.
Get a
And then
Chinese.
he puts on Buffy.
Ah.
Even though he thinks that Angel is a creep and her mom needs social services called. I never watched Buffy.
I was
so
going to say the movie or the show because there's a big diff.
Oh. Well, I don't know anything about it.
for all our Buffy heads, you can chat with Vanessa about your thoughts.
No, I just
No,
I,
no, she's out. She's out.
no. I'm just saying, like for my like generation, it was
Yeah.
Buffy the movie was
Okay.
huge,
Okay.
but Buffy the show was like I never watched that.
Jeff watched all of it. He loves that shit.
Wow,
I know.
you
That's
married
cute.
him.
I married him.
That's
even though
my
I don't know
man.
anything about it.
You guys should talk more. You should ask him about Buffy.
I
Ask him
don't,
about his
that's
interests.
kind of vulnerable for me. It's a little too vulnerable
a little
for me.
intimate.
A little too
for-
intimate. Yeah.
Okay, so they're watching that. She wants to confess her feelings and she's trying to like psych herself up to it. And she's thinking in real life, happy endings are not guaranteed.
Okay, true. But,
Yeah.
you know,
But you know what? Happy
risk it
endings
for the
really only.
biscuit.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
only get a happy ending if you risk it.
Try.
risk your
Yeah.
biscuits.
Risk your biscuits.
Isn't that
Okay.
British?
Is that what they call cookies?
Biscuits.
Biscuits?
Yeah, I think so.
Something.
And scones are biscuits.
They're
I
different.
think everything's a biscuit.
A scone's a scone, but it's like a biscuit.
Don't they call women biscuits too?
Ooh, I think that they call like our
Bird.
biscuit.
Our British listeners, you still here?
Okay.
Okay,
Our fannies is a pussy to them.
Yeah,
Oh.
she get the fanny flutters.
fanny pack.
A fanny flutters.
Yeah, it's from Love
What?
Island.
Oh shit! I've never heard them say that.
It's like saying you got the butterflies. Like he makes my fanny
It
flutter.
made my puss tingle.
Yeah.
That's what we say in America.
Well, yeah, that's what it
We
means.
say, oh, I inked.
Everything.
Oh, yeah. And if you're one of us, we ink.
Okay, so she says, James. He pauses the TV and he can tell she's nervous, so he holds her hand. And she's like, oh my God, he gets me and he makes me feel safe and like I'm in love with him. And she's like, do you know what you mean to me? And he's like, you could tell me. And she's like, I
know.
I adore you. I adore you.
She says that?
Yeah. And then he, there's some more like talking and stuff. And then he goes, I adore you too.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I adore you too. I think my biggest fear might be losing you. And I let fear make me a coward, but I don't think it suits me. And they're both like, oh my God, like, are we confessing? Like, are we on the same page? Wow. And then he's like basically explaining over like a page and a half, he wants all or nothing. Like, that's what I meant when I said I didn't want to be one of those little boys that you were, whatever.
Yeah.
And that was obvious, but she's 23, so he's really explaining it. And they kiss. She's like, I'm all in, right? They kiss. And then I ran out.
That's the first time they kissed?
I finished my notebook.
Oh my God!
I know.
Is that the whole series?
That's the second one for the series.
Wow.
Yeah, look at us go. So then I had to use
I
Post-its.
thought you said World Series.
That is the World Series.
The World Series. There you go. Chapter 10, page 84, dual POV sex. And you were like, maybe I'd be in if he would. Oh, hell yeah, brother.
He fucks.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell
He
yeah,
fucks.
brother. I literally wrote that down. Okay, and then after they have sex, she
Did you write
basically...
down hell yeah, brother?
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah.
Okay, and then she goes, so like they finish, and they're great, and then they're cuddling, and she goes, so what are we?
He just said what he wanted.
Yeah,
All or nothing.
yeah,
So like,
and then he gave it to her. And then she was like, so what does this mean?
Oh
like,
my
what would you
God.
call us? And he's like, we're in a relationship. And she's like, oh my God, okay. And they kiss and it's good. And then she says, I love you. And then she goes, oh no. And then she's just like babbling about it. And it's fine if you don't feel the same way. And I just thought that I would say it. And I've said it and now I've said it and it's out there. And she's just like a mess.
and he's just obsessed with her.
he tries to interrupt and it doesn't work. And then he finally just says, I love you. And she's like, what? What? And then,
Do you like me? Do you like?
oh my God.
Stop.
I liked that he said I love you and not I love you too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like it when it's just the same back and
I
forth.
love you. Period.
Yeah. Period. Okay, so yeah, then it's the epilogue and she does the talk show and it's great. And then
The book's just over at that point.
girl, 98
It's
pages.
98 pages.
It's
That's
barely a book.
Well,
a little
there
short
was
one.
never any other conflict with the guys.
She goes on
Continue.
TV and then like her fame protects her.
I think the conflict is more just her death threats, not so much
And
like
then
her
confronting
brother.
her, yeah.
Yeah. And obviously talking about her fucking feelings.
The conflict is how do I talk to this person who's basically my best friend that I'm in love with?
Yeah.
And then they're
his,
in love with.
and his is the same.
Yeah.
Oh. I guess the conflict I meant like, did they ever arrest anybody?
I
or
was kind of hoping there would be a lot more like,
justice.
Yeah.
yeah,
There's never fucking justice, bro.
no.
That was a side character.
You just got to wait and hope that no one ever escalates.
Their
Kinda
love
sucks.
was the main character.
Aw.
Aw,
So did you like it?
it's fine.
If it had been longer, if it had been more like fleshed out and more like maybe a little bit more action, like some like I don't know. I just feel like I knew that it was only going to be 98 pages, but I just
Sometimes
felt
too short is too short.
sometimes too short is too short.
Yeah.
It was just like it didn't like grab me. I don't know. I didn't dislike it.
It felt like a lot of plot for such a short book too.
That also was sort of like brushed aside so they could talk about like,
How-
oh my God,
miscommunication.
we touched each other in the bouncy house. Like,
Yeah, why are we going on the
So
trip?
weird.
yeah, like it felt like parts of a longer book that
Yeah.
were just like really condensed.
It was
Yeah.
COVID. We had to get it out.
Yeah.
True. She wanted to get it out. Did you find this through Reddit?
I did. I was telling you guys about that this week. There's a subreddit, romance books that I've been, because I know, Vanessa, you're all over TikTok and you're like, oh yeah, that one's on TikTok, this and that. But I just, if I see one book recommendation,
Yeah.
it's my entire feed. So so then I like going on Reddit and just being like,
I looked
What are we
at
all
that
talking about?
Reddit that
It's
you
the
sent
romance
me.
book subreddit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the very first one was like, I'm looking for a double cream pie book from.
And they're like, I got you, girl.
Well, the very first one was Pucking Around, of course.
of course.
Of
Of course.
The thing that I really like, because for our bonus episode, Bloom, spoiler, it turns out that the sex scenes in that were fade to black, which I didn't realize because the way I've been checking to make sure, like, is there actually, like, a sex scene in this. That's
Yeah.
the show. Was through like the Goodreads reviews, but they kind of let me down with that. And the thing
Sometimes
I like,
they don't say.
sometimes it's hard
flat out.
It's hard to tell, and there weren't many. That one isn't super popular, so it just didn't have a ton of reviews.
Yeah.
But I like the subreddit because there's a
It tells
bot
you.
that if you mention a title, the bot will reply, and they have a rating system for how like explicit it is. So like this one's 4 out of 5 chili peppers essentially, and it was like, yeah, you will see at least 2 sex scenes with a variety of acts, and it's open door, like you see the whole thing, and I'm like, I love it. It's like someone just did all my homework for me. That's what Reddit is for.
There
Love
was
Reddit.
a review a while back. I think it was a review. She said, or somebody said that they search the book before they read it to make sure that they say cock and pussy.
Yeah, they want to make sure that it's actually like a smutty read,
Yeah.
so they just like search the book to see somewhere in the do they say cock?
Where she's like,
okay, I'll read
is
it.
said 25 times. I'm in.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm reading it.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
What do the good people at Goodreads think about this?
They had some thoughts. Okay, Amazon has it as a 4.1 out of only 932 ratings.
900?
932.
Is that our lowest one?
I think Bloom for our bonus episode might have been a little bit lower, but
Yeah,
it's
it
around the
was.
same. It's
Yeah.
around the same.
I'm sure like Clippy and the other ones are pretty low too.
Celestial Globoses didn't have any at the time.
To be fair, that is definitely our.
Were we
although
their
now,
first review?
We're the first. The first person
We're
who
the
like
world
read
premiere
it was
Of
Yeah.
Celestial
Me.
Globoses.
Somebody was like, I was very disappointed to see that Clutch My Pearls hadn't reviewed it, and I was like,
excuse
Like, we did review it. It was called episode whatever.
Actually,
I think
it made us all ill.
As well as having an interview with the authors.
Yes.
I bet they meant on Goodreads.
Oh.
We can only do so much, okay?
I did it
Literally.
right away.
We have full-time jobs and also this, and it turns out it's a lot. Okay.
This is a full time. So many full time jobs.
And no money. We can't even talk to Blue Eyed Kayla Jade. Okay, Goodreads.
We just hire her just to be like, hi, we don't want anything. We just want to talk to you.
Wanna interview you?
Book talk. We could explain what it means.
Yeah.
Okay. Goodreads has it as a 3.54 out of 4,000 ratings. And this is about where I realized my last note on a Post-it was like, oh my God, wait, this is the author of that series. The first one in the series is Get a Life, Chloe Brown.
What?
What's that?
It's series, don't worry about it. So it doesn't matter. It's so
popular?
It's so popular.
Oh.
Get a Life, Chloe Brown, something, Eve Brown. Like it's these 3
like
like
sisters?
sisters. Yeah. And it's so popular. It's very like rom-com, not like raunchy Vanessa Reed. So I'm not at all surprised that it hasn't shown up on your TikTok
Yeah, I never
algorithm.
heard of it.
But it's a really popular series, and I just did not put it together that that's the same author.
Did this come out before all those?
I have absolutely no idea.
Okay.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah.
I bet that's like a legit like beach read.
Yeah, but
Rather than, like, smut.
they're spicy, but it's like a rom-com with sex in it as
Nice.
opposed to like a Vanessa book, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Friends of the podcast, Samantha has it marked as want to read.
Mm.
And then I pulled 4 1-stars. Mike said,
Big Mike.
Big Mike said, no story, plot was super weak. It was more like reading a short story and not a novel.
Well, it was only like
Yeah,
100 pages.
it was.
It was, Mike.
He's like, this is fucking mid.
Mike's on top of it.
This is very short.
Yoon said, I'm genuinely upset I didn't love this. I usually love Talia Hibbert's writing. Maybe novellas just aren't for her because I personally found the characters super dumb and annoying and superficial, and oh my fucking God, I hated them. It wasn't even funny, which is absolutely wild. Her other books were so fucking funny. Anyway, I'm sorry. I couldn't stand this. It was so bad. I'd give it a 0, but I can't, so I give it a 1.
Wow.
I could hear that about the short just not being for you.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I think
Yeah.
I'm curious to read one of her longer books now
Yeah.
because like it's there, but like I just wanted more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Era said, why the fuck were they British, LOL? Put me off the whole book, stupid.
When do you think they noticed?
Oh
I die.
God. Why the hell were you British? Yuck.
Yeah.
The author is British. Oh my God. Okay.
What?
What? That's why they gave it a 1 star. Like I can't.
Not into it.
American.
Oh my God.
Imagine like you write a book and then someone like you, what are my reviews? Cool. They just decided they didn't like that there was British.
Yeah.
My
They're
culture.
Like, why is this podcast American chicks? I don't know, because that's what we are.
Gross.
Sorry.
And then the last one, Karen.
Mm.
Please be careful with your words. And then she put the angry emoji. You do not have to use blasphemy when explaining intense feelings.
Yeah, you
Jesus, and then this is all asterisk, Christ, should be banned from books. God sees and hears everything, so please refrain from using these ungodly phrases. I was getting into the book until I read that phrase. I stopped reading and started reading a different book whose author doesn't disrespect our Lord or use curse words with his name. Change that and I will buy your books. Almost a fan.
I need to know every other book that Karen has read. Maybe
Is our new
Is
Sherry?
she out there? They're swearing in this book. There's sex in this book.
What did she like? That's nasty. Because obviously they can't say anything like, oh my fucking God, this feels amazing. That needs to be our Easter book.
Yes. Yes. Also, her name's Karen.
Yeah.
Is it a joke account
Come
too?
on.
You know, like.
But we've seen that before. I don't remember what book, but we've run into that where they're like, there was too much swearing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
But you like
Porn.
Porn. Yeah. We're like, well, that's natural.
people
But
contain
is
multitudes.
it okay if you call out God's name when you come?
I have hair clips in my pocket.
Well, yeah.
Oh, you're
Of
just
course you
working
do.
even when you're not working.
Get out of here.
Get out of
Go
here.
back to my other
When was
job.
the last time you wore that?
Last time I had hair, I don't know. I've been
A
missing
year
these
ago?
for probably a year. Yeah. Shit.
It's like finding a twin in your pocket, but much worse.
Yeah. Like, there you go.
There you
I
go.
like how it's like 3 different ones.
Perfect. She looks so cute.
You think Karen would approve?
No.
No.
God damn it.
Oh my God.
I was gonna.
Oh,
Jesus.
Karen's going to review us.
Damn it.
God damn.
I like that.
Now
I
we
had
gotta-
fun. We were all over the place.
All
I'm
over the
sorry.
place.
I am not sorry.
I don't know if it was your book or our uteruses or
Are you
The
right?
moon.
Uteri.
Yeah. It's a
I don't-
Scorpio moon period.
No, it's a Scorpio sun with a Sagittarius moon. Sagittarius, things are just a little chaotic.
Were we just in the Scorpio moon though?
Yes, we were.
Yeah,
You're
but the
right.
moon
I can't
moved.
keep it.
Literally at like midnight 30.
At the daylight savings time? Just to give a advance notice on when we recorded this.
Oh, that makes sense though, because Sagittarius, chaos. What time is it? You'll never know.
You'll never know.
But
I
have
like
fun.
that thing you put up. You were like, I'll be saying.
Oh yeah. I already said it 3 times myself today where it was like, I'm gonna be saying like it's 6 o'clock, but it's really 5 o'clock or
But it's
something.
really-
For like,
Or the other way around. It's 5 o'clock, but it's really 6 o'clock.
yeah.
Before when I was getting ready, I showered and then I got out of the shower and checked the time and I was like, oh fuck, because I'm always late. But that I was like, oh my God, and I wasn't.
I looked at our clock right now and I was like, how long have we been doing this? But
You
Oh,
need to
see, you
change
even
the
you saying that, I was like,
clocks.
oh my God, all right, we gotta.
wrap this up.
This episode was fun. I did want to say I didn't highlight the scene that was like hell yeah, brother, because I thought you would have more fun, and we haven't done like from his
Mutual
POV.
masturbation.
Yeah.
He's
Jerking it.
Jerking it.
I love the new experiences
I
you've been
try
giving me
to
this
give
year.
you the full spectrum
Yeah.
of.
I appreciate it because it keeps me on my toes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
keeps
does.
my pearls clutched.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you like keeping on your toes, let us know. If you like, I'm not mutual masturbation. Let us know.
No, don't let us know that. We're good.
No, actually, I don't want to know anything about that.
We're fine.
But you know,
If you've read her other series, Get a Life, Chloe Brown, let us know.
yeah. If you want us to get a life, let us know.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh my God.
leave a review everywhere on the internet. Like and subscribe at Clutch My Pearls Pod everywhere on the internet. You can send us an email if you have any recommendations at clutchmypearlspod@gmail.com. And you can join our Patreon, which is patreon.com/clutchmypearlspod. And if you're on our Patreon, I'll see you Monday. For everybody else, I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.
What? So sorry. Bye.
Bye.